Here we go. Welcome back to Sunship Sports and welcome back to Blue and Gold Till I'm Dead and Cold. My name is Chris and we are here to talk about the Tennessee State Notre Dame game this weekend. Tennessee State and HBCU. I believe Notre Dame was one of the last teams in the FBS to schedule an HBCU, so that's pretty cool that we're doing that. The most well-known thing about Tennessee State is their head coach, Hall of Fame running back via Tennessee Titans and the Ohio State Buckeyes, Eddie George. Coach George was 4-7 last year, but they did have a few very close losses, so could have been a winning record very easily, had a few calls gone their way. So let's take a look at this team. Who is Tennessee State? Well, Tennessee State has a dual threat quarterback by the name of Draylon Ellis. He was running for his life last year, basically. His offensive line was horrible. There's not a nice way to put it. So much so that they went out and replaced 4 of them. And this wasn't just because of graduations or anything like that. They went out into the portal, like many teams do now, and got a lot of help for this poor kid. The only one that remains is their center, Chazon Page. So we will see what that offensive line looks like if they're to hold up at all or have a prayer at holding up at all against that vaunted rush of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Defensively, a couple of guys that stand out. I think Josh Green is probably their overall best player. He's their safety. Led the team in tackles and interceptions last year. Kind of odd for a safety to lead in tackle. Terrell Allen, defensive end, led the team in tackles for loss with 12 of them, also added 4.5 sacks. So this kid can play too. Folks, I'm going to be honest with you, though. There's probably not a player on Tennessee State's roster that would make Notre Dame's team. So what is Notre Dame going to do in this game? Well, they're going to show a lot of new combinations and packages out there. Against Navy, they ran a lot of heavy tight end set. They could pound the run. This game, you're going to see quite a bit more. I would love to see quite a bit more out of the tight end room. Obviously, Evans and Stays did a lot of stuff with the running game, but nothing with the passing game last week. Eli Raridan is still out recovering from his torn ACL from a year ago. It looks like he might be able to be back for NC State. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Defensive tackle Gabriel Rubio, backup defensive tackle for Notre Dame. He is also out with a knee injury. Coach Freeman says that one will probably take a couple of weeks as well. So hopefully we get those guys back. Other than that, we're not too banged up, though. Last week, we deployed 5 running backs, 7 wide receivers. So this time around, not only are we going to deploy those guys, we're going to put them in all sorts of different looks that teams haven't seen before, per Marcus Freeman in his Zoom call. The end of this game is probably going to come early. The offensive line of Notre Dame is just too dominant for Tennessee State to be able to do anything with. I believe the defensive line, the front 7 altogether, is going to be way too much for a rebuilt offensive line. And I believe, once again, you're going to have Draylon Ellis running for his life in this game. So that is it for today. Just a quick video. Wanted to give you an update on this weekend's game. I don't think it's going to be close. I think Notre Dame wins by at least 4 touchdowns. And I think most of that scoring probably happens in the first half. And we might see a lot of reserves in the second half as we prepare for the following week's game against NC State. So thank you again for tuning in, making us part of your day. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it, comment on it, and we will see you next time.